Hello, this is just an update on the terminal and how the progress is coming along. When we left off last time, I'd just done this panel in the back. Since then, I've since beveled the edges of that slightly just to give it a bit more shadow depth. On the side, I've added another two doors the same way, just using the slice operation on the Boolean tool. I turned that into two different types of door just for panels. On the side, I've added these pipes that have been booleaned into the side. That geometry is actually there. And I gave those pipes a different material to the main body of it. I changed these parts up slightly, just doing a chamfer on those middle edges. Up by the screen, I booleaned out these two shapes just to give it some variety, and added a bevel around the part near the screen. Also using a cylindrical object, I sort of made these details booleaned into the back. You'll note the doors are only on one side. And then up at the top I've added this whole piece here, which is a card reader. So it's sunken into the frame, much like the bit where the pipe connects on the back, to give it a bit of separation. And then it's sort of encased, and then just got these details on the side here, and then the card reader on the front. Okay, so I think that's looking pretty good so far. I will also be adding, changing the floor. That needs remodeling really. Also made this this screen using some UI elements found online. This is going to become the screen that's actually lit up on the model. Moving forward, I've just added this piece at the front here, these vents. I'm just going to show you how I made that. So I'm going to select these faces on the main model, duplicate and separate, and snap them forward. Okay, just going to delete these center edges, won't be needing those. I want the segments of this thing to be all roughly the same size. So to do that, first of all, with this face selected, I'm just going to scale it in slightly on the Z-axis, just so it catches a little bit more of the shadow around the edge. And then I'm just going to add 4 loop cuts to divide it into 5 segments. We don't need the bottom 4 for the moment because we're going to use an array. Just add another loop cut down the middle and bevel it to get 2 loop cuts. Select this top face and then move it backwards. And then it's just a case of fine-tuning the angle of that sloped part. Can move these edges up or down just to give it, again, slightly different angle. You normally see the front one but not the back one, so I'm trying to do that without changing the angle too much of the sloped part. Okay, that's looking pretty good. So over in the modifier panel now, we're going to add a solidify modifier. If I just isolate that piece and go into side view, you'll see that we need to add on even thickness, and then we're just going to reduce that down to 0.003. Okay, next we're going to add in an array modifier. Change the X to 0 and the Z to 1. -1, sorry, and then increase the count up to 5, and you'll see that fits in there perfectly. Because it's inherited the same material as the piece we cut it from, you'll see that it's got the bevel catching the highlights on those front edges. And because it's the array modifier still on, any changes we make to the top one would automatically happen to all of them. So I can just adjust this slightly just to fine tune the look of it. Once that's done, we can apply the array modifier. Actually, no, sorry. If I go back, I'm just going to add in the loop cut because we're going to have these in the joined in the middle, so that they look like they're in two parts. So just add a loop cut in the middle, bevel it. We can then apply the array modifier. Just going to delete these faces, and the same on the one below. And then we're going to bridge all those together afterwards. Select this loop and this one, and then bridge them, and the same on all the others. Go into shaded view, and you can see that that now looks quite good. I'm just going to scale it on the x-axis slightly. We did that on the y, just so it catches a bit more shadow around the outer part. Just going to do the same on the x-axis as well. That might be a little bit too much. I'm just going to undo that and scale it differently. We only want it to be very slight. We don't want it to look like it's set back, or I mean, you can do it that way if you want to, if you want it to look, but that's an entirely different look. I want the flat part of the front of this grille to be flush with the flat part of the rest of the terminal. Next, we're just going to add this one here, so that it looks like it goes up to the top of the frame. Which is very simple to do. Just extrude this up, snap it to there, and then just bridge it across. Double click that edge loop, right click an N to add a face. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this little update on the progress so far. Thank you for watching. Take care.